he's not on. Mr. Jones? Okay. Okay. So good morning again, campers. Sorry about the technical difficulties that we are experiencing. As I just previously mentioned, that for some of STEM camp, we're exploring different fields within, science, technology, engineering, and math. And today we'll be exploring a branch of technology, which is animation. So you'll be having an animation presentation by Mr. Jones, who is an animation teacher from the University of Technology in Jamaica. Mr. Jones?
Good morning, everyone. So as was presented, my name is Mr. Shane Jones. I am an animator. I am also a lecturer at the University of Technology, teaching in the animation program. And I want to say thank you for inviting me to do this presentation. Hopefully, you guys will get a kind of feel of what animation is about, what it takes to be an animator, and what are some of the things you might need to know about animation in general. Okay, so I'm going to load up a little presentation, so give me a moment. All right. Loading, loading, loading. I guess while I'm loading, I could probably ask the question, is anybody in here, has anybody in here ever done any animation before? Or if you've ever had like-
I have done animation.
I did not.
Okay, that's cool. So what kind of stuff? Okay. So what kind of animation did you guys do?
3D animation.
Oh, nice. Which software did you use?
Flash.
Flash? Okay, so we have 3D, we have Flash. Anybody ever used Blender before?
I know what Blender is. It's a 3D
Software, yeah.
It's a 3D software. We can make 3D stuff.
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. All right.
We can make 3D stuff for games.
You can use it to make games. You can also use it to make 3D animated films. Okay. So what I'm going to do is show you a little bit of, perhaps what I can do is talk about 3D animation as well as 2D animation, and what are some of the things that you need. So my presentation is taking a little bit time to load, but I guess what I can talk about first of all is what it takes to be an animator. So one of the things you kind of want to have as a person who animates, you want to have the right mindset. What do I mean by that? You kind of want to have a goal in mind.
Always be positive.
Yes, that's true, because as an artist, because animation is an art form, and it can also be a technical thing, is that when you're creating things for your animation. So for example, you might do things like character designs, you might do environments, you might do concept art, you might do different things. What can tend to happen is that if you're working on a project for a very long time, or sometimes you have what we call art block, which is where you can't come up with any ideas, then it can be kind of tricky to navigate. But sometimes you just have to push past it. As you mentioned a while ago, you have to be positive in doing what you want to do, and you always have to remember your reason why. All right, so here we go. I think it's almost loaded. Let me add. What agent is this? What agent is this? It's oh. Use this one. All right, so I'm going to share my screen a little bit. Do I have screen sharing privileges, Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir. You do have screen sharing abilities. Why? Because no one's sharing screen. That's the only block. That's the only way you'll not be able to share screen, and because the host doesn't allow you to.
Okay, thank you.
You're a co-host, so you do have screen sharing abilities.
All right, nice. Thank you for that very detailed explanation. Right. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen now. Kind of talk about animation from concept to what it takes. And then we're gonna have a practical demonstration. All right, nice, it's finally loaded. What I'm gonna present on is something I use in my classes to kind of explain some of the things it takes to make, for example, an animation. You guys watch cartoons, right? I mean, or animation.
Yes.
All right. So,
Yes, sir.
all right. So here's a question. All right. So let's say you're watching one episode, and one episode is about 23 minutes, right? 23 minutes to do. How long do you think it takes to make that one episode?
Honestly, I would think it would take about 4 weeks or more.
Okay.
Mm.
Anybody else has any other guesses? All right. So depending on the cartoon you're watching, it could take 4 weeks, but that's probably a low quality one. I can tell you for one episode of, for example, The Simpsons, or any other typical 23-minute episode, it would take a studio of persons 11 weeks to do. For one episode. And one episode could be worth millions of dollars. Right? So if you are in this industry, it's a field where you don't work alone, but when you do work, you're working with a team of people and you're working in a specialized area. So let me share my screen, and then I kind of want to talk about this thing. I'm going to share my sound. So like I said, this is something I use in my class. Can you guys see my screen? Yes? No?
No, sir. Oh, he's coming up now.
Still not seeing it. All right, hold on. New share. Screen. Share. Can you see it now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I can see that.
Awesome. So this is one of my classes called 2D frame development. So it talks about getting from concept to animation. So whenever you're dealing with animation, animation really is a sequence of images put in a particular order to create the illusion of motion. So that means every time you're watching a cartoon on the screen and every time the person moves, that's a different picture. And they put all those
Frame.
pictures in a, yeah, that's a different frame, thanks. and they put all those images in a particular sequence so that it looks like it's moving. That means every time a person moves or jumps, that's a different drawing. So you can see how much work it really takes. And if you look at this picture here, has anybody in here ever watched Ratatouille before?
Yes, I have watched Ratatouille.
Cool.
No, sir.
So I'd recommend you watch it. So Ratatouille is about a rat.
I watch Ratatouille.
Nice. And this rat wants to learn how to become a chef. But what you're seeing on screen,
Actually, the rat is already knows how to be a chef because he has this special ability to smell if a food is good or not and then mix the flavors.
okay. Nice. So what happens is that if you look at my screen right now, what you're seeing is the concept art, and then we have some visual development, and then afterwards, the last image, so you're seeing 4 images. The first one is an idea they had for Remy before they finished, and then they changed it, and then what we have in the second one is more of what they wanted in terms of his design. The third one is what we call a concept art, which kind of shows how they wanted the movie to look in terms of the colors, the placement of the objects, and the characters. And the last one is what we have with it on screen, which is Remy in his final design, right? So I'm just going to talk about animation. So animation is about teamwork, and there are some things that you need to know about teamwork. Being a team player is a very important skill to have, because as much as you want to have the most amazing skill, so let's say you're a really good person, really good drawing person, or person who can draw really well, or you can paint really well, or you can design characters really well. If you have a bad attitude, nobody's going to want to work with you. On the contrary, if you have really bad skills and a great attitude, perhaps you want to be more like the person who tells people about the being the one who does it. So if you really consider animation, if you want to be an artist, you, as young as you are now, start drawing from now, start getting better from now, because whatever you put your mind to, whatever you try to do from now, you're actually investing in yourself, you're becoming better right now, so that later on you keep growing with that right mindset. You keep practicing over time, you keep getting better over time, and then after a while, people will recognize you when you can do certain tasks. But as one person I know says, opportunity favors the prepared. If you start preparing from now, when the opportunity arises, you will get the job, right? Cool. So I guess most of you, if you want to learn something, would probably go on YouTube, and you probably watch something, learn how to do something on YouTube, right?
Oh, am I going to get my charger? Can you wait?
Okay. I'll wait for a second. Right? So I'll just talk a little bit about. So on YouTube, you can learn a lot of skills. But the thing is, when it comes to animation, you have a whole bunch of people. So let's say somebody is doing a show about cooking. You're going to have to get a chef to tell us how to prepare a particular meal if we want to animate that, right? So as a person who learns, it's easy to just work alone and do everything by yourself, but it's very, very difficult to do everything all by yourself. That's why you have different parts. So an animation is like a puzzle where a whole bunch of different necessary pieces are coming together. And that's why having so many persons with different skill sets can make an animation much more successful. Cool. So this is what I call, or what is called, the 2D production pipeline. Meaning, if you want to make an animation, there's a bunch of steps you have to go through before you actually finish. But not a script is or a story is. Right, so I'm gonna, anybody there? Yes, perhaps. Right, so we are still here. Nice. Right, so whenever you're creating an animation, I guess one of the things I could probably show you is how Penguins does it. So the pipeline tells you what processes you go through before you can actually come to a final result. So you have your script, which is essentially the storyboard, the story put into words that persons can read and kind of understand how the story is going to go. Then you have the storyboard, which is if you ever read a comic before, right? You have your script, which starts out like this, right? Somebody might read a script for an episode, and it shows you like how you put things together: actions, expressions, dialogues, how the characters talk, right? And then afterwards, you have the storyboard, and if you can look at the top here, you'll see. If you recognize the cartoon at the top,
Amazing World of Gumball.
that's actually my favorite cartoon. Amazing World of Gumball. Before they actually do an episode, they draw like a little comic that shows how that episode is going to go. Right? You can hear Richard Watterson there, and you see Gumball, and all of a sudden they're taking out the trash, and it just shows you how it's going to work. At the bottom, you have like one panel of Steven Universe. Yeah, they show you exactly what's going to happen before they actually do the animation. So here's an example. I'm going to open up an example of an animatic. Right? Let's see if we can get that open. My browser. Wait, what happened? Okay, it's loading something. All right, we're loading YouTube, which means I'm gonna have to share my video. Stop share, and then share screen, optimize for video clip. Right. All right, you should be able to see YouTube right now. So this is an example of an animatic, which would be like a moving storyboard, and also the comparison between the storyboard animatic and the actual animation itself. Oh, am I freezing? Oof. 1 second. That's odd. My internet is doing odd things. Yes. Having some technical issues. It be like that sometimes. Right. All right, finally. Zoom. All right, let me share my screen again. Share time. All right, nice.
I'm gonna loosen my belt.
Me too.
Belly five!
I hope everything was to your liking, gentlemen. Here's your check.
I don't think we'll be paying.
And why would I give you a free meal?
Because that's the sort of generous touch that guarantees you a glowing 5-star review.
I don't think so.
4 stars it is then.
Hey, stop that! One bad review online is all it takes to drag a place down!
Talking back to a customer, 3 stars. Take it down to 2. Maybe we can get a free dessert. Wanna try for 1 star, Larry?
Okay, your meal is free!
5 stars would come again. We'll take the desserts to go.
We don't do takeout.
Larry, raise my eyebrow for me.
Right away! It's online!
Perfect.
I got reviewed? 1 star?
Too small and round, 1 star.
Hey,
Has a dress sense of a fever dream and is easily confused.
hey, I dyed this tie myself. Or is it tied this time?
The sun's too hot. 1 star?
Would not recommend to a nearby solar system.
Rate me 1 star. I am 1 star.
Yeah. So before you actually do a full-on animation, you usually try to prepare for it, right? And let me continue. So there's different phases. So that was the animatic just now. It's basically a time storyboard. It's the dumbed down version of the final animation. It helps us to time our animations before we actually get to do them. Then you have art direction, which is what exactly does the animation style look like? What do the characters look like? What kind of
CGI.
colors? Hello?
CGI.
Yeah, this is CGI. But the art direction actually tells you what kind of artistic elements you want. As in, how do you want it to look? Do you want to have a flat style? Do you want it to look like, here we have Captain Underpants at the top, you know, where everything is round and fluffy and the colors are really vibrant and you have really nice lighting. Especially even like characters are shaped. You can see the characters, Captain Underpants looks basically like an egg with legs. And you can see that the 2 guys there, they kind of have this cylindrical shape for their faces and such. At the bottom, you have a more flat looking style. So these are different ways that you can actually get films to look It's kind of like when if you look at, and I'll look for Soul Pixar designs, right? So for Pixar, when you look at the Soul design for the characters, right? So for example, the Soul counselors look kind of like Picasso paintings. They look very flat. And we have the actual characters now who are round, and you can see that they have this very, the word is stereoscopic look to them. Like when you put on 3D glasses, they look like they pop out at you. And then you also have the characters on Earth, which would look more like, you know, solid characters, right? So that's the art direction. And you go on to the design and the layout. What do the characters themselves look like? You know, because as some of you mentioned, some of you have used 3D before. But if you're gonna build a 3D character, you want to know what the character looks like from all angles. So if you use Flash before and you want to do a character to turn around his face or turn around his body, it's good to know how to draw your characters from the different directions. And even your environment and your concepts, your layouts, how does the background look compared to what you have? I'm going to show you another animation, and you can tell me what you think. It's called, I think it was Chalk Dragon. Let's see if I can find it on YouTube. Let's see. Where is it? Chalk Dragon animation. See if I can find it. All right, don't think I can. All right, we just have to move on. Chalk Dragon short animated. There we go, Crayon Dragon. Got it wrong. That's 1 week. Right. What did you think?
Was a good animation.
Great, sir.
Yeah.
Very good animation.
Awesome. So you
It was
can
a
see.
good animation.
Got you.
So the thing about that one is, you might probably didn't notice it, but when they were drawing the creatures with the chalk, the crayons, you could see that their lines were really sketchy and not like as fluid as theirs.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah, so it shows you what you can
Just
use.
like an edit and Eddie.
Yeah, Sid and Eddie had that kind of a style as well. They had these moving lines. So when you finish your design and your layout, right, you design your characters, your props, and your environments. And then after you finish those, you can create them in whatever way you want them to look. So you start with the concept art first, and then afterwards you translate and you move on to, like, if you've watched Zootopia, you get to see what this thing under here, this concept art, this environment, this design, translates into when you're actually watching the film itself. So that's an example of the child and the concept art for this design. And you also have Zootopia, which had this design. But Zootopia was a 3D film, so they had to draw what they wanted the museum to look like before they actually did the actual 3D for it. And then you have the pencil test, right? Anybody know who this is?
I know it from a movie.
Yeah, that's
The
Ariel
Mermaid.
from The Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah, the Little Mermaid.
The pencil test would be like the early version of the animated scene. So it's like a really rough drawing that looks like what the character would look like before they actually polish the whole thing, right? And then afterwards, you do cleanup. So cleanup is where you take your really rough animation here you see on the left side, and then on the right side, you clean up the art. So it looks like the finalized character. And if you're really good cleanup, then it looks like one artist did the entire film. So it all looks like proper proportions, proper colors, and all those things. Here's a weird question. You guys know Dragon Ball Z? Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon what, sir?
Dragon Ball.
Dragon what?
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I know Dragon Ball Z.
So here's something
I
I'm going
know,
to show you.
but it's just Japanese. I don't understand it.
Okay. I can only watch that in English. All right, so I'm going to show you something. So it says a good cleanup artist, it's going to look like one person made the entire thing. I'm going to show you something that can happen sometimes if you're not in sync with the other artists. And you probably don't notice it when you're watching episodes, but in Dragon Ball Z, style changes, episode, right, not this thing. Right, here we go, Dragon Ball Z episodes. You guys know Goku and you know Vegeta,
Frieza.
Frieza. So they show you that even in the different episodes, because in anime, sometimes you have one person working on one episode and another person working on a different episode. So when you watch different episodes, the characters start to look different because this version of Goku on the left side looks a little bit different from this Goku on the right side.
The right side have bigger chest.
you see a lot more details on the hair on the right side, but you see very little details on the hair on the left side. But everybody knows it's Goku. So here's how Piccolo looked across episodes, right? So you had this version of Piccolo with a headband, and this other one. And you can see that in some cases, his ears are really, really big. In the case over here, his ears aren't as big, but he has these really weird looking eyes, right? And the same thing goes for things like Goku, right? So Goku's eyes are very, not as, angry, very soft, right? And you can see his hair is like that. And over here, you can see he has a little bit more details in terms of the muscle lines and the chest and such. And his face looks a little less sharp. And this one looks like the Goku we know and love. Right? But it differs depending on the artist, because these are different artists that they have the names there. And you have Vegeta as well, who had a really big forehead in episode 25. The line started coming some more in 26. In 27, he has a very long forehead, and his, hair is like that. It changes based on, so if you are doing an animation and you are working with other persons, what you try to do is get everybody on the same track. Because this is one episode where Vegeta is flying towards Goku, and this is another episode of the same shot, and you can see a huge difference in terms of the hair details and how they did the smoke. And this one doesn't have any smoke. This one doesn't have any smoke, but this one does, or clouds. All right. Those are some of the things that you see in animation, right? Clean up, and then what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you a very simple animation, and I'm going to use a software that you can use anywhere. So first things first, let me show you what I'm using. All right, so I'm going to share myself. Who's talking to you?
Flash gets shut down.
Yeah, no, Flash doesn't have any support anymore. So there's a little bit of an issue there, because Flash was really good for making video games. But when it came to looking for content, you couldn't find Flash files. That's why they don't have any support anymore. And it was also unsecure for websites. That's another reason they shut it down. So I'm gonna share myself. It's raining. All right, so I'm using a graphic tablet stylus. Can you guys see my stylus? Can you see my stylus?
Yes.
Right, so I draw on a tablet. So let me kind of move this a little bit. And this is a screen tablet that I can draw on. So
a tablet?
Yeah, this is a graphic tablet. But it has a screen, so I'm literally drawing on screen. So you see me moving now, I'm actually using my hand. I'm not using a mouse or a trackpad. I'm actually drawing on screen. So I'm going to show you a drawing that I did recently. So these are some skills that you want to have in terms of when it comes to being an animator. You want to know how to draw. So one. All right, so I'm going to show you a drawing I did I think last month. There we go. Right. So when you draw, it's always good to draw appealing characters. So I was looking at this one on the right side as a reference and drawing this guy like that. So you don't get skills overnight. Trust me, I know. When I was in high school, my teacher told me I couldn't draw, so I didn't. And then when I actually started to draw again and continue drawing, I got better. So sometimes you have to listen to other persons telling you that you can or you cannot do something. If you believe you can do something, then just go and do it.
So what's the name of this app?
Pardon me? What's the name of this software? It's called Krita.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how it works for a little bit.
What's the name of it?
The name of it is Krita. So I'm going to write it on the screen so you can see. All right, so that's Krita.
You have to pay for this.
Oh, this is free. 100% free. I usually only recommend free software. And you can download it on their website, krita.org.
I can't draw it on mouse.
No, well, this software works better for you if you use a tablet.
If you have a Wacom
Like
tablet,
my small tablet.
that would work.
Yes, it would work. Perfect.
Okay, fine.
Because so if you have a Wacom tablet, so you can use different types of tablets, by the way.
So I can use my Fire tablet.
Well, if the software can be
Amazon Fire
can be installed on that, you can. So you don't have to be limited to which software you use, by the way. Really, when you have the skill, no matter which software you open, you should be able to just work with it. So different persons use different software.
So much you pay for the thing that you use? How much you pay for the tablet?
The one I'm using right now is owned by the school that I work, and it costs over, I think, $2,000 US because it's really big. But you have tablets that cost like $30 US. You have ones that go to 50, right? You have
Well,
some
I
that
guess
go
the cheap ones don't work well.
The cheap ones, some of them do. The one I would recommend if you're on a budget, because I've used it before and it works just as good as this. The only thing is that it's not on a screen. So you'd actually have to draw on a pad and it comes up on your screen. Right? I wish I had that tablet with me. Let me see if I can find one. Perfect. Right. Yeah, smaller tablet. So these are smaller tablets, still expensive, but you have even smaller ones. And I can probably give you guys recommendations when we're finished, so that if you want your parents to buy you some tablets, you can get some cheap but good ones that work, right? Because you have ones that are $50 and they work just as good as the one I'm using now. Right, so Krita is 100% free, right? So yeah, don't worry about the cost of the tablet. It's not always the cost of the tablet that makes it better. You have to look at the features of the tablet. So I'm going to do a simple animation, but first I'm going to draw a background. Right, so let's start off simple. So first of all, when it comes to creating things, I like to use what we call layers. Layers help me to separate the different elements of my composition or my scene. So I'm just going to draw a really simple background. First, I'm going to start off with a sky. Right. This blue is too much. Right. And then I'm going to add some white to that. Whoops. A little bit too much white there. Let's add some clouds to this. Right, so there's a couple of clouds here. Nothing fancy. All right, so then we're going to add some grass.
Sir, can I show you some of the animations that I've made?
Yeah, just give me a little bit because I want to show you this and then I'm going to let you guys share what you have. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to have that. And I'm also going to add some this. Oops, that's too much. Woohoo. Cool. And then I'm going to add a few more things. For example, perhaps a rock. Right, we have that and a lower layer. It's not coming and just draft up a little bit of a thing here. Right. And just to make this a little bit more interesting, I'm going to add a few shadows to it. I can take black and make it not as transparent, make it not as opaque, and then just do a little bit of and see something in the chat. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys is how we can create an animation on top of all of this. me just take a quick look in the chat. Is that the link? It says adjusting incentives, animation, cool. Gonna look at that in a little bit. And let's create a quick animation. So I'm gonna do something real quick, nothing fancy, nothing really nicely done. I'm just gonna create what I call my trajectory, which is how do I want this to bounce, first of all, and then afterwards we can clean it up. So I'm gonna put a little thing there, probably more like this, or more like that. We're gonna have a loop. So one thing is good is that if you can kind of see how fast things are going to be moving while they're doing things. So I've created my path as to how I want the ball to move. And what I can do afterwards is just set up how I want it to bounce. So I imagine it falling in perhaps like so. And it's gonna start off close together and eventually speed up as it goes. So the time between each of them is going to be a little bit different. And if I realize that this is a little bit too much, I can put more in between, like so. Yes, something like that. It gets bouncy, like so. It's the ground, bounces. It's clumped together like that. Gets a little bit faster as it goes down. Space between each of them goes a little bit more, bounces off. You know, you get something like this. And everywhere I have one of these little dots, I'm going to draw a circle. So let's start that off. Let's call this ball. Ball. And I'm going to just kind of lower this a little bit. Anything done for me, please? Right. Right, so we have more persons sharing their animations. Could you follow these channels or subscribe to them when I'm done? Great. So we're going to start out by creating a ball first. So the way it works is that you have to set your frames and tell the ball how you want it to go. So I'm going to start out by right-clicking, and we're going to have the options of inserting a keyframe. So one, we start off with a ball there, and I'm going to move it over. And we can turn on something called onion skin, which allows me to see where I drew the ball before. And that really helps because if you're doing an animation, you want to know where your previous frame was, so you can keep it moving forward. You try to keep the shape consistent. And as it goes down, it starts to stretch like so. Whoops, made a mistake. Another one. Next one. Next one. And as it comes down, it gets faster, right? Squashes. So 1, 2, that one. Then we squash this one. Like, oh no. And then as it's going to be bouncing off again, it starts off nice. gets a little bit more rounded, starts getting rounder, then try to keep them at the same shape. Right. Flattens out there, goes up, goes up, gets rounder. Yes, my drawing is really choppy right now. That's okay. I'm gonna add an extra one here. And let's have it kind of fall off the screen. And let's play that out, shall we? I'm gonna hide this. And I'm also gonna hide this. I'm gonna press play. So you get something like that. And I'm gonna tell it to just keep playing over and over again for a frame. This is 57. And that frame 58. And get it to play back and forth again. So it's looping now. And then you could actually go in afterwards and do additional stuff like clean up your ball drawings, or you can get perhaps some part of the rock to just do something, or show some graph going on like that. I could actually draw a bird if I need to and do some additional stuff, right? So that's how you create a simple animation. And yeah, that's how you do it. So we could also do more with it, right? So we have here ball, and maybe if you want to say, I want to do something a little bit extra. Maybe you could say, I'm going to insert frames as well. Keyframe. And let's say the ball is coming closer, but you kind of want to show that, yeah, there's a shadow somewhere there. So you start drawing your shadows. Oh, no. Oops, locked it. Start drawing a little shadow there. You try to measure it down. Probably coming up there. Top of that rock. Closer. Squashes down on that rock. You know, showing his shadows. Do a thing. Tear it down. Maybe there's a little something here. Right? Oof.
You can change it.
I can change it.
Yeah, moment.
Yeah.
This is going to look so wonky. What is music playing in the background?
Careful, it's bringing back one and rotten inside.
Alex,
I'm bringing back one that is rotten inside now.
And then you get the shadows in, and it looks a little bit better. And you just keep adding more and more to it so that it keeps looking better and better. All right, so I see a few links in the chat. Let's look at what you guys have done. Right, so we see Justin here has a bunch of links. All right, let's look at this one. Is this your Flash animation, Justin?
No.
Oh, this is in Flash. Let me look. I'm gonna copy this link. Slightly above average channel. Madness come back 56 minutes. I remember this guy. Yeah, this was definitely Flash. This is definitely Flash. I know this animation from before, way before. So it's being very choppy and violent. Let me see the other one. Oh, it's the same one. Okay, cool. Not bad.
Sir, can I show you my own?
Sure, just drop the link in the
Sir, it doesn't have a link. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. You have yours with you. All right, let me allow you to share. That is more.
Sir, you have to stop.
Who is it? Is that Adam Manro? You want to share?
Sir, you have to stop sharing so he can share.
Yeah. Thank you. Brilliant. Who is allowed to share? Is everybody allowed to share? Let me just check the settings. All right, cool. Interesting. What did you make this in?
Can you see, sir?
Yes, I can. Okay. Interesting. Good. Ah. Cool. It's actually pretty good.
Looks stiff.
Yeah, it's stiff, but it's not bad at this level. Did you do the okay? Battle of Gorillabot, episode 1. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, this is good. Did you make the trees and stuff, or did you get those assets from before?
No, sir, I didn't make them. I just chose a background.
Okay, cool. Does anybody else have any animations?
No, sir. Even if I did have an animation, the animation would be for my last course.
Okay. All right, no problem. You guys know, sorry, you know Sprucey and Limey?
What is it, sir?
If you guys know Sprucey and Limey.
No, sir.
What is it, sir?
If you know Sprucey and Limey.
I heard of it, but I didn't watch it.
Okay. All right, let me see. TPDCO. All right. Here we go. All right, so this was done by my brother and myself. Sprucey and Limey. It's really about some primary school kids who like discover heritage and they want to do stuff to help. Right, so this is an example of, this is the kind of style of animation that a lot of cartoons are going towards now. we call it the 2D cutout style, which you can probably see with hilarious. Awesome. So that's one of the episodes. Brucey and Limey. So different persons animate different ways. Like you have what we call stop motion. So for example, stop motion. So there we go. I want to play this one. So this is stop motion. So guys, are you on? Do you think you know how they did this?
What is it, sir?
Do you think you know how they might have done this animation?
No, sir, I didn't see it.
Oh, but so what they would have done is those two characters, the fox and the dinosaur, are actual puppets that they've gotten. And what they do is that every time the character moves, they take a picture. And then they put all those pictures together. And afterwards, you know, it creates an animation. Then they add the sound effect to it. And they add any other effects to it. So for example, like the eyes blinking. There's a making of video I could show you. I'll probably just drop the link in later so you can actually see it later. So I'm just gonna press play.
Sir, we can't see the video.
Pardon me? You can't
We can't see the video.
Oh, hold on.
You are not presenting.
So this whole time you weren't okay, cool. I get it, my bad. Hold on. I got this. I thought I was presenting, but I wasn't. Share screen. Here we go. Let me start over. Oh, I can have space now. There we go.
All right, so now you can answer the question when you asked. Yes?
All right, so you guys can see the screen now? Hello? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Stop motion.
Yes, this is stop motion.
It's lagging, sir.
Oh, the worst part is I can't optimize for video play. All right, what I'll do is drop the link in the description, the chat, and then you could probably watch it. Because I think
it's not lagging that much, so it's okay.
Okay. But I'm still gonna drop it.
It just running 1 frame per second.
Yeah. Stop motion tends to run at a smaller frame rate than other things. Because they're taking the pictures. So one chat. Oh. There we go. That's the link to this one. Let me continue playing. It's a romantic tragedy. Probably compulsory.
You ever made flash animation?
Pardon me? I heard something about flash
You
animation.
made flash animation.
I have made flash animation a long time ago.
So where is it?
On DeviantArt. I'm gonna have to look for it. Give me a second. So while you guys watch this, I'm gonna look for that. Oh wait, I have an avatar one, don't I? Roses. Just a little.
Okay, sir, I watched it.
Okay. Instrument. Just one thing. That's it. Just like I got you, man. I got you. No? That's that. Yay. So that was interesting. I think I can find one of my animations. 1 second. I got some here. Where did I put it now? Where did I put it? Presentations. Presentation. Digital media and hold on, I think I can find one. I think I found one. Hopefully. So I think I managed to find one of them. I'm not sure this was a presentation from before, but I think, here we go. I put it in here. This one was done in Flash. Right, hold on. Can you see it? So this one's based off Avatar. Like I said, I did it a long time ago. Fire, water, air. Am I sharing screen?
No, you're not,
think I'm-
Mr. Jones. We're not seeing your screen.
I was wondering. Okay, share screen. Right, I was saying, somebody had asked me if I'd done Flash animations before, and I was saying a long time ago. But I did one that looked a little bit like this. So this was based off, I liked watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and so I did a little stick man animation thing.
Sir, have you watched the new Avatar?
With Korra, yeah. Or are we talking about Avatar 2 with the blue people? Never mind. That wouldn't have been it.
The name of the avatar before Avatar Korra was Avatar Aang.
Yes.
No, it was named
Yes.
Avatar Ang. It was named Avatar The Last Airbender. The Avatar before Korra was named Avatar Ang. The show was called Avatar The Last Airbender.
I think that's what.
Then you need to be more specific.
True.
Don't worry, I got all of that. You're both correct. I mean, the name of the avatar was Aang, but the show's name was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was my little thing there. And there were other things that I could show you what I had done before. Let me kind of just touch on some of those just really quick before. I don't know how much time we have left. 1 minute. Wow. Right, so this is a storyboard that I had helped with this thing, and then it was about some mannequins who were watching people outside the shop. And this is some examples of 3D stuff. So I made a rocket based off this concept art I got and built it from the different views that they had. Yep. All right, so this is an example of a character that I made. A friend of mine designed the character, and I made it in 3D and rendered it different ways. And then this is a picture I took. Well, it's not a picture. This was actually done in 3D as well. Dice and such. And this is a mushroom.
That's a creepy smile.
Yeah, that's a very creepy smile, to be honest. Oh no, nothing happened. All right, so this is VFX as well. So these are some of the things that I do.
Back to the number and 01.
This one?
Yeah.
That was a joke. I usually play that when I'm doing a presentation sometimes. Like, oh no, my computer crashed. Right? And then this is an example of VFX. This was a rocket that was done in 3D. You know, adding a few effects to it to make it look more popish. And then this is an example of one of my favorite ones that I worked with a few persons on. You guys ever been to Hero Circle?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so this is one of the monuments I have there, and this is an example of what we wanted to create. Some lasers, some vortex, some dust, and so we did that thing.
Like someone from the future coming?
Basically, yeah. Right, so those are some examples of things you can do with animation. So it's not just about creating cartoons, you can create effects. So if you've ever watched anything from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then you know that you can do anything with animation. You can make things look more realistic. You can make things look like fantasy. And you can just have fun with it. right? So no matter what age you are, you can always get started doing animation anytime you want, and just push towards it. Don't let anybody say you can't. Just prove them wrong when they say you can't. Right? So I don't know if anybody has any questions for me, even though I basically took up all the time talking.
Animation expensive.
Yes, it is. Never devalue yourself. Animation is expensive, yes. Quite. I see some chat things. What did I use to make them? Okay, so I use After Effects to make the teleportation one, as well as Maya. Maya is another software. We could have used Blender as well as a 3D software. And you pretty much take all the different elements, put them together in the After Effects software, and make everything look like they all fit in the same place. I think I have probably take another question if there's any more. I have 2 minutes left. Translation, please. Oh wait, you have 2 things open. Right. So are there any more questions?
No, sir.
No more questions. All right. Thank you again for having me here. And I hope that if you are interested in animation, start early. And then when you reach like my age, you'll be taking my job from me. Yeah, whatever it is that your interests lie in, I always recommend persons to do that, because if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Okay, that's me. That's all I have to say. Mr. Williams, I think you can take over now.
Oh, I was having some technical difficulties. So thanks, Mr. Jones, for your informative, very informative session on behalf of e-Biome and the students of the Summer of STEM camp. I really want to extend deep gratitude to you for your very informative session. I know the students really benefited from having a conversation and learning different techniques and gaining an insight into the world of animation. I know that they will even try and see if they can use some of the techniques or gain some ideas as they create their environmental campaign. So I just want to thank you for everything you have provided today, and all the best on your, wishing you all the best in your endeavors.
Oh, thank you. Thanks again for having me.
Okay, anybody else have anything to say? Oh, somebody's requesting. Okay, go ahead. Alexandre?
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh, sir, just send the software.
Okay, Alexandra, you were saying something?
Sir, you have to check your chat.
Oh, somebody was requesting his email, Mr. Jones. Okay, Mr. Jones provided his email. Are there any more questions? No.
No, sir.
I guess that's it. So thanks again, Mr. Jones.
You're welcome.
Yes, Miss Roden will contact you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Can we leave now? Just making sure.
No. You guys have 2 things to work on. 2 things to work on for over the weekend that I want to discuss in the next 20 minutes. You have your career symposium presentations, and also you have the environmental campaign that you need to start work on. So I'm going to just finish up my presentation with the campaign and then move right into your presentation for next week, the requirements of your presentation. Yes. So as we were speaking earlier this morning, we're talking about factors that influence our present factors to consider when creating a campaign. So I just want to go over these quickly. So as we stated earlier this morning, you need to have an end goal. So the goal needs to be your main priority. And it essentially needs to have the solution, which needs to be practical for the issue that you're advocating. So the end goal must be an action that you want your audience to take, and the action must be practical. Additionally, when considering your goal, you must consider your audience, because based on your audience, your audience also dictates what your end goal will be. For example, if your target audience is, for example, children, you can't expect children to, that's a good example now. You can't expect children to go and, like, for example, clean the rivers or clean drains. But what you can do is to inform children to properly dispose of their garbage, try and recycle as much as possible, and also inform their parents of the impact of disposing and washing their clothes within the rivers. So you have to be careful, you have to be mindful of who your target audience, who's your target audience, the age of your target audience, also where they are located, which will determine what channel or medium you'll use for your campaign. For example, certain digital content, it is usually Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. Also, the time frame of you have to also consider the attention span of your audience. For example, if you are considering children from the ages of 5 to maybe 12, or even adults, depending on what your content is about and how creative you want to be with your content. And essentially too, TikTok would be one of the main mediums to create short, creative, and impactful information for your campaign. So you have to consider your audience, what your audience like, where they are located, and what are their desires and ambitions. Because if your content is not lying within what they aspire and what they desire, you will have a problem in terms of reaching them and getting them to do the actions that you require. All right, so we consider with digital content or news ad, and is it engaging and accessible? So meaning where they are located, can they access it? For example, we are reaching children, social media is a better route compared to newspapers, because children are not really buying newspapers. So you have to consider, is your channel engaging and is it accessible? Also, when creating campaigns, you need to consider your budget, because this dictates the channel sometimes. Yeah, most times dictate the channel and what strategies you can employ in terms of pushing your information forward. Also, you need to, one second. So sorry about that. So you need to also consider tactics. As we watch the Apple's 2030 vision regarding climate change, as most of you pointed out, that you had emotional appeal being employed within the video, the use of the father, the use of the narrator being a father speaking to a young child on the bed. So that appeals to both adults and also parents and also young adults in terms of what the future will be for young babies, what their future will be. So you have to consider employing certain tactics, emotional appeal, music. As we said, we had some like sad, melancholic music being employed. So your campaign must tell a story. And for you to tell a story, you need to implement or integrate certain persuasive strategies within your campaign, which ultimately will influence your audience to take action. At the end of the day, when the campaign has finished, you want to leave them with a specific thought in mind. Not just, oh, that was inspiring, or oh, that was sad, but what can I do, or oh, this is a problem, I want to do something about it. So for your campaign, which you guys will start planning this weekend, what I want you to do, it's just that everybody is what I want you guys to do is to consider what environmental issue you guys want to create your campaign about. Because we will continue the planning session on Monday. So you guys need to think about what environmental issue, whether local or, well, locally, look at it, what environmental issue you want to tackle. And we can start brainstorming now. So if you have any in mind, please put it in the chat, or you can unmute and let me know. And guys, remember, you are responsible for the campaign, not me. So you need to take action. I don't know if you guys want to share you guys' email, but you need to consider what issue do you want, or you could create a list, and from that list now you choose one. What issue do you want to be, you want to advocate for within your campaign? You have learned about marine life and plastics. You have learned about ocean acidification. You learn a lot of different environmental topics. So you need to, different environmental issues. So you need to select one that you want to advocate on, and the issue and the solution that you have in mind. And bear in mind that the solution must be practical and also must be specific. So anybody have any ideas in terms of what issue you guys would like to base your campaign on? Anybody? Shanice, Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want the campaign to be about? What will your campaign be about?
Water. Plastic killing.
Repeat, Justin.
Plastic killing. Sea fish. Plastic killing fishes.
Okay. All right. That is one idea. Who is writing this down? You guys know this is essential. Go ahead, Alexandra.
Plastic eating fishes.
Okay, so I'm seeing plastic eating fishes. You guys.
What I said.
Okay, you guys need to have a secretary. So who is writing this down? In terms of the topic, the idea that you have, remember that, along with identifying the issue, you guys also need to research the facts, because your issue needs to, as we mentioned earlier this morning, your issue needs to lie in the sweet spot of being logical and relevant. So you guys have to do research in terms of the data, along with what you have learned and the statistics, and really what is going on regarding, for example, if you choose marine life and fish and plastics. So you need to research the dynamics between fish and plastics. And that is just one topic. Everybody agree on fish and marine life? Fish and plastics, the impact of plastics on fish, the lives of fish? Anybody have any any other suggestion?
Sir, I have a suggestion.
Go ahead.
The route that I was thinking is more on sustainable lifestyle.
Okay, what do you mean by sustainable lifestyle? Recycling?
So, for example, sustainable fashion. So when we wear clothes or buy from ethical brands, promoting veganism and all that.
Okay, no problem with that idea. The problem is, what is the specific, what is the issue that you are, advocating? Because you say veganism, ecological, green fashion, essentially fashion that goes for the sustainable development of the environment, that protect the environment. So what is the issue, Shanice, that you...
The running theme there would have been waste. So you know that they say that it takes 130 showers to produce 2 pounds of beef, for example. So that would tie in with veganism. And they have like large brands that, like, if you return goods, they are burned or they are basically waste then.
Okay, that could work. I think it could be tied into, so waste could be tied into waste and marine life, for example, recycling, like the plastics, and because sometimes,
yes, sir.
Yeah, most of our garbage is disposed of in wetlands or in aquatic environments. Yeah, that's a better term, aquatic environments. So you could talk about the impact it has on fish. That would be the issue. And then the solution now would be developing eco-friendly products or using eco-friendly products. You're saying veganism. How the veganism comes into play with waste?
So as I was, the example that I gave you know, so, as something that basically takes 130 showers to produce 2 pounds of beef. So you know that there's a lot of waste in terms of water happening there. So and basically the water, they're basically saying that the grains that you're feeding to the animals, we could have easily eaten and just like closed off that, and we're putting the animals at risk. So yeah.
Okay.
As that would really plastics and marine life. Could say that, say for instance, where there's overfishing in certain areas.
Then how are we going to eat fish if we don't fish?
Yeah, what's that?
Repeat that, Justin. You guys are having a conversation.
Then how are we going to eat fish if we don't fish?
Shanice or anybody else, remember it's a discussion, you guys are selecting a environmental issue and your solution.
So I'm not exactly sure what Justin said, but I was saying that with veganism, you know that vegans don't eat meat of any sort. So with that in mind, you know that for certain areas where there's overfishing, if more people eat, if more people eat from vegan lifestyle, you know that the overfishing will be reduced in certain areas.
Okay. I was thinking, I'm gonna help you guys. I was thinking that you could look at the extinction is not the word, but marine life, especially specifically fish, being endangered by pollution and overfishing. And then your solutions could be possibly, you guys still need to research, could be, as Shanice was saying, incorporate more veganism in our diet and recycling.
Not hard.
In terms of recycling the plastics. But in terms of what Justin is saying, in terms of not eating fish, in terms of reducing our consumption of fish, we'd have to address, you guys would have to address that in your campaign. So maybe it's not going full vegan, but maybe encouraging persons to have maybe, gradually incorporate it within your diet. So
like meatless Mondays.
Repeat.
Maybe stop fishing as much.
Okay, good idea, Alexandre. That ties in with the idea of veganism. Yes, Shanice, you were saying something?
Meatless Mondays. That could be a challenge for our target audience.
Okay, so meatless Mondays. All right, somebody's writing down who want to be. Rajwani, do you want to be the secretary by writing this stuff down?
But if you can only eat fish?
Is he on here?
Sir?
Yes? Go ahead.
Someone asked if what if we only eat fish?
I said if only if. Never mind.
Repeat, okay, I hear what you're saying, Alexandra. I'm going to adjust that.
What if you only can eat fish?
The solution, well, somebody want to answer that? Jermaine?
If you want to use turn people into vegans or something like that, not everyone is going to subject to that idea. as being a vegan to help with that.
What if you're like stranded in the middle of the sea and you only have a fishing pool and you're vegan? What?
I'm Justin, you're breaking up. We didn't hear that.
Pardon me?
Yes, you're breaking up.
If you're stranded in the middle of the sea and you had a fishing pool and you're a vegan, what you going to eat?
I don't think Shanice was saying going fully vegan to address what you're saying. She was saying you could incorporate like more vegan meals. So for example, one day or one aspect of one day, you could go vegan. That's what she was saying. Meatless Mondays could be a challenge. Jermaine? Okay. Anybody? All right. Waldron, could you note the following keep a note of the ideas and solutions that we are speaking about? The recording will go up, but I want that you guys need to implement a secretary for your campaign.
So I was writing.
Repeat?
I was writing.
Okay. So we have the meatless Mondays. You guys need, so that is this that's one solution. You guys need to consider other solutions for your Monday class. Also, you need to consider your target audience and the form of advocacy you want to do, whether it's a social media, so that would be digital content, whether it would be photos, or whether it would be video or a short film. Also, you guys need to consider who do you guys want to partner with, so we can send out the letters by Tuesday, Wednesday.
Excuse me, sir, what are you talking about? I just came back. I had to step away from my computer for a second.
Oh, wow. Jermaine, we're talking about the campaign.
So it's a group project, sir?
Yes, it's a group project. Based on our discussions, we were saying, Shanice, what were we saying? What are the ideas so far?
So basically, plastics and marine life would be our general topic, and to go in depth with we basically promoting vegan life or incorporating vegan lifestyle in daily lives and reducing plastics and waste in general. That would basically put the aquatic animals at risk.
And the solution would be, the possible solutions would be?
So as I said, reducing plastic. So maybe using a hydro flask or just a simple glass, or basically reducing the amount of disposables that we use. And meatless Mondays would be a challenge as well. Could be a challenge as well. And promoting, eco brands.
Okay, yes. So that was what we were discussing, Jermaine. And I was saying now, you need to consider your target audience for the campaign. So that is what you need to do this weekend, because you'll be having your climate change campaign planning session on Monday. You need to think about your target audience in terms of age, where they are located, in terms of which platforms they use. So you need to decide whether campaign is going to be a newspaper ad, a short film, a documentary, a protest, or it's going to be digital content on a social media platform or platforms. And if you're using multiple platforms, what those platforms will be. Additionally, I'm going to set Shanice has has taken notes. So I'm going to appoint based because I was asking Jermaine, but Jermaine left to handle something, to deal with something. So she's taking notes. You guys need to communicate with each other. I would suggest, and I'm going to suggest that you guys drop each other's email in the chat right now, because you also need to consider which companies are organization that you would like to partner with. Because the companies are companies.
So, sir, how do we know who the person we are supposed to work with is?
Everybody's on the project.
Oh, okay, sir.
So if you want to create a WhatsApp group, Jermaine, I'm going to leave you with this responsibility. So you need to collect everybody's email.
Sir, I can create a hangout because I do not have a phone yet, but I can create a hangout.
What is that?
You have hangouts?
Yes, I can create a hangout.
Okay.
Just drop your email in the chat.
I don't have a phone.
No. No, it's okay. See, if you have a computer, that's fine. I can just create a hangout. Just drop your email in the chat and add you to the hangout.
Okay, so everybody agree with the hangout?
Okay.
Wait, I have to send my email.
Yes, sir.
So please send your email in the chat now, so you guys can communicate over the weekend regarding, and Shanice will is taking notes, and also you guys should take notes, but Shanice is taking notes in terms of being the secretary, in terms of what you guys should do over the weekend. A document will be posted on Google Classroom by tomorrow, but you can start working on it from this evening.
Okay, Ariko, I just invited it to you. See.
And the notification popped up.
Okay.
So drop your email, everybody. Please drop your email. Jermaine, send me the link to the hangout in case there are any campers who are missing from this session, so I can send it to them. If you know anybody that is missing, please send it to them. So
Jermaine, do you see my message?
Repeat that, Ariko.
I was asking Jermaine if he saw my message to see if
Yes, I saw it, Ariko, I saw it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Just type your email in the chat so I can see it.
So everybody put your emails in the chat, and then when you guys decide to meet or send each other the message, Shanice, you just remind everybody of the ideas that you have so far and what you need to accomplish. And other Waldron too, you just remind persons what the tasks are for the weekend in terms of your audience, your platform, and that you want to use the type of advocacy the format your campaign will be, whether it's a protest or it's going to be a social media campaign. And yeah, so your audience, your platform, and go over the issue again. So go over it, go through it with a fine-tooth comb, meaning be specific, as I mentioned in the session prior to this, in the session early this morning. So your issue needs to be specific, your solution needs to be realistic and practical, and you need to consider who your audience is based on the solution that you want.
Yes.
And lastly, you need to consider which companies have a list of companies that you may want to partner with. So by Tuesday, you guys can send out your letters stating that, hey, we have a campaign. You can write that in your campaign document, like who you that you have invited these set of companies, and you will have already sent out the emails by Monday.
Why would I have it?
What you said? Repeat that, Justin.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay, so that's what you need to consider. And some of the let me say that one local company will be presenting next week, so you might want to consider them. Don't know. So pitch out, really work on your idea. You'll be having local and maybe international presenters next week. So really work on designing your campaign, and then we'll meet on Monday and we'll go over how we go about planning, go further in detail in terms of planning the campaign. But you guys need to complete the task so we can move forward. Additionally, now, let me stop sharing my screen. You guys have the career symposium next week. At the beginning of the camp, you guys were informed about having a 3-minute presentation. A 3-minute presentation on the career path that you wish to take. So let me just quickly share this document and go over it, and it will be posted in your Google Classroom platform.
Is everybody seeing where they were invited to the Hangouts?
Guys, please respond so that you may know what to do.
But I need to make sure that everybody is in. So are you guys in the Hangouts right now?
What Hangout?
Are you added to the
downloading it.
Okay.
I don't see no Hangout.
Oh, I changed my email. Whoops. This is the wrong thing.
That's how you need to be on Farmville. You don't know.
Oops.
So I did not get an invitation for the Hangout.
Okay. Oops. Oh, sorry. I'm using my school email. Whoops. I need to delete this.
So
okay, guys, this was I accidentally used my school email, so I'm gonna have to resend everything to you. So please just leave the old Hangouts because I used my school email by accident.
Okay.
So just leave the old Hangouts because I accidentally used my school email with that one.
Oh, you know what? Send me the email, the link to the Hangout at this email.
Okay, sir.
So I can inform everybody else about the.
Everyone, please leave the old Hangouts because that one I used with my school email by accident. So please just leave that one and make it with my personal email now.
Okay, guys, please note that. Regarding your career symposium, let's wrap this up. You are required to create a 3-minute presentation on your aspired career path. Sorry. So you will be required to include the following. Please pay attention. You need to give an overview of the career path or the job that you aspire to be. The duties, the role, meaning what the person do, what the job requires on a day-to-day basis. For example, if you're a geologist, you're processing development applications, you're doing geological mapping, you are doing rock sampling. So you need to put in, if you're an architect, you're designing buildings, you are going over building plans. that is duties / role. Education or skills required. Bachelors of Science in Geology, Architecture, Urban and Regional Planning, Civil Engineering, MSc, so Master of Science, or Master of Science in Environmental Engineering or Geotechnical Engineering or Botany or Water Resources or Hydrology. So you need to consider those. The skills.
Okay, so I need everybody to check if they're in the Hangouts now. And I need you guys to make sure that you left the old ones.
How to know if I'm in the new Hangout? How to know if I'm in the Hangout? Because
okay, so I need everyone to leave the old Hangouts and join the new one because I actually use the old my personal with my school email. So I'm in the new one with my personal email. So I have 9 people. I'm gonna call everyone that I have, and I'm gonna need you to tell me that you're not in. So Ariana Birthright, Alexandra, Ariko, Justin, Leah, Iraj, Sir, Janice, and Ivanka.
But I'm not seeing
Listen, Waldron.
So those are the people who are in the house.
So pause 1 second. Anybody that if you have any contact information that is not in the Hangout, please send the link, to them. All right, Jermaine, pause on the Hangout. Let me just finish explain this. So the overview, your presentation for next week. Your overview, what the career is about. Duties and role, I just explained it. What you do on a day-to-day basis, educational skills required. So whether analytical skills, mapping, GIS, knowledge of AutoCAD for persons who want to be architects, modeling skills or programming, all of that, work environment, the reason you chose this career path. So what is it your purpose, if you feel it is your purpose, or you have a desire, you like certain things about the career, you need to include that. Also, you need to mention how does this career path benefit your community. Community is not limited to where you live specifically. Like for example, if you live in Glenmere House or Coral Gardens, your community means your country and also your region, meaning the Caribbean. So you need to put that in your presentation. Please be creative with your presentation. Your presentations must include photos. And your presentations will be graded, and you might have persons from your profession at the career symposium. So your tutors and your camp director, everybody will be there. So please start working on your presentations over the weekend along with your campaign. So you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you have the weeks building up to work on these 2 projects. Any questions or comments? Ariane, you said no to what are you saying no to?
I'm still not in the Google Hangout thingy. Not able to, well, I don't see the invite for it.
Jermaine?
I'm working on that now, sir. Let me see if Ariana is in it. Okay, yes, I sent you an invite.
Jermaine, when you
Yeah.
create a Hangout, make sure like to text them or like group won't show up or the contact won't show up.
Okay, I'm gonna press join using a link. I'm gonna copy the link now. Copy the link. I'm gonna post the link to the Hangout directly, direct link. There is a direct link, see if that works. Please tell me if that works. That is the direct link to the Hangout. See if that works.
Guys, please remember, please remember that this is the last class of the week, so you really need to get into the Hangout. I think Rajan is saying that she's not seeing anything. So Jermaine, please check that out. He just sent a link. Please.
Yes, sir. I just sent direct link.
Yes.
Okay, so Yavanka just joined it.
Okay, so Cumberland says she's seeing it now. Waldron, are you in?
No, Ivanka, please do not use your school email.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, Ivanka's in.
Okay, she's seeing it now, and I think Justin just said he saw it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to post a message now. Okay, yes. So Ariana, everyone is in now. They're seeing it now, finally. You see them online. Shanice is online. What's it, sir?
Rajwan is in it.
Rajwani, let me check. Let's see. Yes, it's in.
Okay. So just ensure that everybody, all right. So everybody is in. If you're not in, please speak now, because I'm going to send you guys off. And please remember you have your assignments to do. So you really need to work on your time management. And guys, this is what will be required of you as you move up through the education system. So if you are in high school, when you go to university, or even work, you have to work on projects and activities, and you have to communicate with persons as your team. Ariko, you have something to say?
No.
Okay, no problem. As you go in whatever career path or even progress through the education system, you will be required to work on different projects. So for the persons within the Caribbean, your SBA and SBA, all projects. When you go to university, projects, more projects, and it is more, and you are in charge of it. Nobody's there to guide you. So we are providing the opportunity from now. For the persons who want to be architect, environmental engineer, geologist, medical doctor, you all will be working on teams. Even if you're an independent consultant, when you're a consultant and you're contracted to work, you're working on a team when you're working on a project. So if you're an architect, you're working with a geologist, you're working with the site manager, the person who's in charge of the construction company, all of those persons. So please take this opportunity seriously, especially that you will be launching next week, Thursday, and which I will delve more into on Monday. And you also will be partnering with possibly with companies. So learn to communicate from now. So I hope that everybody is in the group. If you are not in,
everyone in the group, yes, please. So let's see. So I see that Justin, Ariana, Ariko, Yavanka, Leah, Shanice, and Alex posted, but I'm not sure about everyone else. So everyone else, if you are not in, there is a link in the chat, the direct link to the Hangouts. Just press it. I will send it again. I will send it again. There is a direct link to the Hangouts. So just press it.
Okay. Just email me I sent my email, put the email in the chat. So just email me the link.
Sir, just press the link. Sir, press the link. Just press the link in the chat, sir.
Things are multiple things going on this PC. So I trust that everybody learned today. What has been a pretty hectic but interesting and informative day. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Sorry for keeping it this long. Have fun, but get some work done. Bye. And please
Okay,
say
bye, sir. Is everyone in the Hangouts? Just make double checking. Everyone in the Hangouts?
Yeah, I
Please
guess.
say yes in the chat or just answer yes before you leave, please.
all right, guys. See you tomorrow, Monday.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Bye. Stay safe and enjoy the weekend.
Wait, we have homework?
Yes, you have homework from the different classes along with the 2 projects that you're supposed to be working on. So please check the Google Classroom. I think Miss, 1 second. Jesus. Miss, okay, yes, Miss Bowman posted yesterday your lab questions, your fish lab questions, and your marine animal PowerPoint was posted. So please check the classroom for your work. Alrighty, see you on Monday.